Hey, you guys, you're going to really love this video, so please like, subscribe, and hit the notification button so I can keep making you super fun content like this. So there was some shocking gossip that was flying around that Meredith from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City and Jen Shah, also from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, had an affair with the same man in New York. And there were two men that people thought that gossip was related to. One was Harry Dubin, and the other is Ron, who showed up in season 9, episode 12 of Real Housewives of New York. So this was the gossip, right? And what makes it even more disturbing, of course, is that there's this huge history with Harry Dubin and this Ron character, whoever it is, with the women in Real Housewives of New York too. So it's like every single shocking gossip that was released on Dumois, which was that Meredith Marks and Jen Shah of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City had an affair with the same man in New York City. So I guess Meredith was not with Seth at the time of this. You know, like this was one of their break times, I guess. Anyway, they dated the same New York man. And somehow some additional rumors started swirling that this man, who both Meredith Marks and Jen Shah hooked up with, was a man that other housewives on Real Housewives of New York hooked up with. So everybody suddenly went to two guys as possible candidates. So the two candidates was Ron, who purportedly said in season 12 that he kissed every single housewife except for Leah and Tinsley. And so he was like really proud of hooking up with all of them in one way or another. And he actually tries to convince in that finale that Leah should make out with him. And Leah's like, ew, gross, right? Because she's so much younger than him. But anyway, so he was a candidate that everybody thought maybe Meredith and Jen hooked up with. But there was another candidate, and that candidate was Harry Dubin. And I have some gossip about which guy it ended up being, because I got some insider scoop leaked to me, and I'm going to tell you about it. I'm going to read it to you in a minute. You should like this one, I think. You know who Harry Dubin is, right? Read the blind to you. Word on the street is that cheating allegations are swirling about 3 Real Housewives of Salt Lake City housewives. One ladies we will not hear about. 2 of them are Jen and Meredith, and word is they were seeing the same man in New York City. Stay tuned. So what the story is with Harry Dubin is he's a real estate investor, and he's most notable for Sonia Morgan saying that, you know, he broke her heart in a way. She said on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen, "We dated 30 years ago. He cheated on me. I broke up with him over that. Then he marries Aviva. She threw her leg. He came back to me and I went on a picnic with him on my show." Okay, so this is his, like, because he's made a few appearances on Real Housewives of New York. Eva Drescher was the one who threw her leg on the floor in that, like, big Real Housewives of New York scene. It was, like, shocking. It's pretty iconic, actually. And she was Harry Dubin's ex-wife, and they had a son together. Okay? So this guy is, like, everywhere. There were also rumors that Real Housewives of New York Luann hooked up with him because she met him through Sonia and left a party with him. And although they never confirmed it, it was like, why is she leaving with Sonia's date? And like, you know, Luann. I mean, we know Luann flirts. I think they hooked up. Let's just say that. I'm just going to say that. That's my guess. Now, Harry was also caught kissing Ramona Singer by the Paps. He denied it and said it was the angle of a camera, but it was, I mean, it looked like he was kissing Ramona. Sorry, Harry, it looks like you were kissing Ramona. I don't think the angle of the camera had anything to do with it. It turns out that we think we know if it was Ron or if it was Harry that hooked up with Jen and Meredith. And we do believe that it's Ron, not Harry Dubin. Now, I'll tell you why we think it's Ron. By the way, Ron also hooked up with Sonia Morgan, if I didn't mention that. So now we have Sonia Morgan, Meredith. We have him kissing all the housewives, and we have Jen Shah. Wow. I did reach out to Meredith and ask her if she hooked up with Ron because I was like, ew, really? Did you? I said, seriously, he's so gross. I hope not. Anyway, I didn't get a response. So, yeah, thought that was some funny. I said, why did she answer? Anyway, what ended up happening was some people in New York that I know were at dinner with Harry Dubin, and they were at the Regency. Okay, what I'm about to tell you is alleged. Anyway, Harry Dubin at the Regency was saying, we'll just say he was overheard saying that that he believes that Meredith is a lesbian and actually is not into men that much, which is fine. I was like, well, it's not that shocking. I mean, is it shocking? I guess it's shocking. And then the other thing he said was that Jen Shah was like a disgusting pig. But he said it wasn't him who hooked up with them and that he had a really young girlfriend now that was super hot. So, like, why would he ever do that? Yeah. So it wasn't Harry. It must have been Ron. Maybe that's why Meredith didn't respond to me. I was like, just say no. How about that? Let's just say no on him. Even if you did do it, just say no to me, lie to me, and say no, and I'll just set the record straight so we can all sleep better at night.